What is TWS podcast, episode, whatever, who cares at this point?
Bar.
The rants of the vindicated.
It's my podcast and I do what I want to.
People, listen.
Word, is it still live?
It's not working for me, Rich. We're going to keep going. I know I changed my voice at work.
Bars on the radio.
What is TWS podcast?
And ready.
I feel like the Neanderthal.
Staring at my watch and I'm feeling so new school.
Suicide attempts, how many tries to take? They ain't ready.
They ain't never been ready. Never gonna be ready. It's the return, mother.
Bars.
Hey, what's up? This is another episode of What is TWS podcast, and we're getting back to normal right now. So as usual, I'm your boy J. Flan, and I got back with me my brother Rich Nerd.
What's good, people?
And we are the White Pants Society. I don't know what episode this is. We like
It's episode whatever.
yeah, we way out there on the episodes. We running up on 100, but I don't know where we at right now. Man, it's Wild Card Sunday. Got the football game in the background. Got some Jay Dilla. I've been really in my Dilla mode since Hams bought me that vinyl for Christmas. So we gotta get caught up. We don't really have to do a whole bunch of topics now. We haven't chopped it up in a while. We might just have to, make this a get caught up episode.
Yeah, play catch up.
So yeah, man, what's been good with you, Rich? What's been good?
Not much, just life. A lot going on in the back end, but happy to see another day.
All right, man. So how was the holidays? How did your holidays go?
I can't complain. Holidays was it is what it is. You know what? I feel like this year, in general, like it didn't feel real like Christmassy. Then it didn't feel like real New Year's-y. But I don't know. It's like a lot of that holiday magic wasn't there. But I guess it changes for a lot of folks as you get older anyway. But
Yeah.
I mean, still was able to enjoy myself a little bit. So I'm happy for that. How about you?
I mean, the only fun part of Christmas at this point is, Elise getting her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I mean, can I say it without sounding fucked up? But it was disappointing because she's still at the age where she really don't care about presents. Like,
Yeah.
Like, she didn't care about ripping that note. I'm like ripping all the packages open for her. She wasn't like joining in on the tearing the paper, and like she would get one thing and that'd be like cool for 5 seconds, and then like show her something else. Oh, okay, it's something else.
She's not there yet. You trying to live vicariously through her excitement, and she just not even expressing it.
Because I can't afford my kind of toys, so I'm trying to buy somebody some toys I can't afford and see them get excited about it, but it didn't quite work out that way. And we got her a little. So I didn't know this was a thing. Like this is how much life in general is just passing me the fuck by. I feel more and more like an old fucking dude every day. So have you heard of these Striders now? Like they the balance bicycles. Like it's a bicycle with no pedals. It's just supposed to be for them.
So you just like supposed to kick push and hold your legs up or something?
Yeah, and they got a little section where you can kind of like put your legs up. So like Tammy or I could push her and she could sit her foot.
So you just practicing the balance part.
You're just practicing the
but
balance
then you gotta
part.
graduate to another. Don't you know the motion of pedaling is what keeps you on the bike to begin with?
But it's a thing. Like it was a thing. Sammy wanted to get it. I was excited to be able to get it for her, so of course I went along with it. But I didn't know this was a thing. Like she got a helmet and everything for this joint that like you just you can't. There's no motion to it. Like you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like
but does that count? It's like, oh, you going outside to ride your bike? Nah, I'm not riding. I'm striding. Like
I'm striding. They striding out here.
Making strides.
You
okay.
gotta catch them in stride. I ain't know it was a thing, but she got one, and I think she's kind of feeling it. Like we just haven't been able to take her outside because for some fucking reason it's cold as shit in Texas.
In Texas, I mean today it was like 67, but yeah, like
we getting back up there, but it's been cold as
New Year's. It was like 20 degrees outside with a real feel of like 17 or something like that. It was crazy.
And I saw something on Twitter where some lady was like, yeah, we know it's mad cold in New York, but fuck it, we ain't used to this. It's cold in Texas. Like,
so I did the same exact thing. Like my car was frozen over. The windshield was like iced.
Yeah.
I go outside. It's like 25, 30 degrees or something like that. So I make a post and I post it online. And my cousin's like, "What the fuck you expect? Like it's winter." Shout out to my cousin Kimmy, who tried to play me real quick. Tried to dog me out online. But I was like, you gotta understand though. This is Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Like we don't get 25 in Austin, fucking Texas.
Nah. We got snow a couple times.
Which is I've been here 4 years and all of a sudden it's snowing in Texas.
Snowing.
That's crazy.
We got snow a couple times. It's been crazy cold.
It's been freezing all over the place. I think we set some records this year. I think one place. Don't quote me. I don't know if it was Minnesota or Michigan or something like that. It ended up being like a negative, like 20 or some shit like that.
Yeah,
like
so
it's
what do they call this? This cyclone bomb or some shit?
It's something.
Whatever just hit like New York and everything. My mom was telling me. I talked to her this morning because it was my nephew's birthday. Shout out to my nephew who designed a Fuck It Though shirt. And then he turned 23 today. Sin Rion as he goes on Facebook. I don't know what the fuck that means, but I don't understand anything these days, Rich.
And did you see what your president posted on the back of all of the cold? He was saying, you should send us some of that global warming.
They haven't shut this nigga Twitter down yet.
I don't know why. Like they still let him speak. I just don't understand it.
This is the absolute sad fact about it, is that probably the reason why they haven't shut his Twitter down and the reason why he still gets to say this crazy stuff and get away with it is because there is a large part of the population that is down with everything he's saying. Like he's not saying this stuff and like everybody don't think he crazy. We think he crazy.
No, he
got some people that's like,
he's preaching to somebody.
Talking about that global warming shit, and I gotta turn the heat on in December. It don't make no sense, man. I shouldn't have to put the heat on if the globe is warming. Some of the globe warming for
And it boggles the mind how much of this people don't understand. Global warming doesn't necessarily mean we're only warming. And during the colder months, the inverse is just as true. And if people can't realize that over the summer we had some record highs, this winter we're having some record lows. Like, is it not clicking in his brain and his followers' brain? Yeah,
shit is out of whack across the board. It's fucked across the board. But I don't know, man. Like I go to CNN like every day at work just to see what's happening, what's popping. But I want to see what this book is going to do because they seem like they're going in on the book, and the book I feel good because the book reaffirms what I already thought. But this nigga never thought he was gonna win.
No, he
wasn't trying to win.
No,
And they all got caught off guard. And now they trying to do this. They trying to ad lib in the most important position in the world. If I'm being a little egotistical right now,
it's setting a very bad precedent. Not only are people gonna think it doesn't matter who you are, you can become the president of the United States. They're also gonna think it doesn't matter who you are. You don't have to try, and you can become the president of the United States.
And it's also just going to lessen the position. Like,
it means nothing.
We used to think of the president as the leader of the free world or the most powerful man in the world, and that's going to be like, it's just another Trump in there,
Why do you think we're having so many issues with like Korea and stuff? It's like, yeah, he has a bomb, but at the same time, he also thinks global warming is not real. So I mean. Do I take he said he pushed the button on me? Yeah. Do I take him seriously? No.
I take him seriously. I think he has no idea what would happen if he pushed the button and just one day just be like, man, you motherfuckers, fake news.
He probably missed all of those Hiroshima videos that they forced us to watch in school. Like that bomb is real, brother.
It's real. I don't know, man. I'm trying to, I'm on my new in my treatment classes, and I'm doing all this stuff, toward being a better me and learning acceptance and the serenity prayer and all that shit. And it's mad difficult. Like I have realized that I let what other people do upset me to the nth degree. Is that what they say? The nth degree?
Yeah.
All right. What the fuck is the nth degree? But anyway, so I'm trying to just woosah the fuck out of everything that happens right now.
I might send Renee to one of your classes. She do it too. Like somebody do something and she just will sit there like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You don't have logic? Like what made you think that was okay? And I'm like, you can't let other people's actions affect you that much.
Yeah. Yeah, let gotta learn this, accept it. Like,
Just let it go.
it's all about expectations and all kinds of stuff. I'm working. I think I did an episode of the Road to Recovery thing not too long ago about coming to the realization I'm going to have to figure out a way to forgive my dad, and that's still weighing on me right now. But fuck it though.
And that harkens back to that other episode we had, that what is it, daddy issue?
Daddy issue.
And I mean, it's true. At some point, you're gonna have to let go and forgive, and it's not for them, but it's for you, because it's poisonous to you and your psyche and your mental health and your well-being, just like it is to me. And I was on the road. It was like I was right there, and I was like, damn, okay, you're right. You know what? It ain't. I'll let it go. But then you get that one reminder, or that little thing happen. It's like, oh, you dumb motherfucker.
That motherfucker.
Yeah.
that post.
And it's like, damn.
All right. Yeah,
it's just like, fuck it. We right back to the beginning. Here we are.
Oh, man. That shit. All I could see was Kevin Hart's father the whole time I was reading this.
I read your comment to Renee, and she was like, damn, Jared ain't shit. That's funny ass shit. But damn. And then she was like, I snapshotted it and sent it to her.
Yeah.
So she read the whole thing again with that voice, and at the end was like, all right. And she was like, yeah, that made it better. Fuck it.
We doing a little inside joke because I don't want to incriminate nobody, but
It's crazy.
if you high, don't post.
Don't stay off of social media.
Put your phone down.
Damn man, he damn near pulled the Tyrese.
They been memeing the fuck out of that dude, man.
They trolling the fuck out of
You
Tyrese.
see the joint where Cardi B had the allergic reaction to the fish or whatever, but she did like the Instagram or the Snapchat joint from like the nose down. She's like, I ain't gonna let y'all see my whole face because y'all ain't gonna make memes out of me. It's like, niggas be living this world now where you don't cry on television though.
No, you get caught. Everything is up for grabs. And so that brings me to that. I wasn't even going to talk about this because I literally forgot about it until I literally just said everything is up for grabs. That Logan Paul BS.
All right, so you got to get. So all I knew was that he went to the, what do they call it, like the suicide forest or whatever,
like the suicide forest in Japan, and
actually took video of a dead body.
This guy had just like basically hung himself. I don't know why my mic is dropping, but this guy had basically just hung himself, and Logan Paul just videoed the body hanging, was talking, doing his little, I guess, laughing and making jokes and snide remarks and everything else. But it's like, how mad can you be at him? You know what I mean? On one hand, he's a total asshat and a prick for filming that and making fun of or making light of the situation where this young man he felt his life was so bad that he had to kill himself, and you came behind him off the strength of that, and you just made light of the situation, fun of it. You're an asshole. That's number one. But number two, the fact that he's been empowered so much by his followers and viewers. You know, it's like a drug. Like, and I forget where I read this, but likes are like a drug. I think Kev on stage mentioned it. Yeah. And it's like, the more you like it, the more they think that they have to do. So he's at the point where it's like, okay, what do I do now to top myself? Like, what can I do next to get these likes in? And he felt like this was an okay thing to do. And what made it worse was after the fact, when he tried to apologize, and he's like, this was wrong. But it's like, how much can you put stock into that when you realize he stood there for however long it took, an hour, say, and recorded all of that footage and ridiculed and did all of that shit. And then went home and watched all of that footage while he edited it.
And still put it out.
And then made snippets and advertising and promo for it.
Yeah. And when you put it like that, I get it a little bit. Like, when you just was talking about it, you know what came to my mind is how many fucking jokes I made about that 11-year-old kid that committed suicide because he thought his girlfriend committed suicide, and they was pressing charges against her and shit.
And I think
know
we
I
were
went
both
in on that.
Yeah,
one.
I think we both did, and we both were in the wrong. I mean, we both said some stuff, but we weren't. It wasn't something that we were taking and trying to put out there for likes and advertising and all of that other stuff.
And in our defense, we don't edit these fucking episodes.
Yeah, and it was in the moment and trying to not trying to make light of it, but okay, you killed yourself. This is why you killed yourself. Why do you even have this issue at your fucking age? That was more of what the question was. But this dude was like, oh, like, I'm not even gonna repeat shit he said because it don't make no sense.
I haven't seen it. I have a maybe that's a bad thing now that I'm trying to do a podcast and stuff, but like I just have like a bullshit blocking mechanism where when once I hear about something fucked up, like I'm not one of them people that you can be like, man, this stinks, smell it. Like if you say it stinks, get it the fuck out of my face.
Don't share with me.
Oh, this is nasty. Taste it. No, I take your word for it. So when people start saying like he did this fucked up shit, I'm like, all right, he must have done some fucked up shit. I don't necessarily need to see it. Same thing with that little kid that was talking about being bullied or whatever, and like mother is a white supremacist. And they had the damn, what is it?
The GoFundMe and all of that.
Joint. Yeah. It's like I never watched that video, so like I couldn't do an episode and comment on it because I really didn't want to see it. Like I just like I have too much stuff to worry about that bothers me, that makes me upset.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Yeah,
and if you tell me something that's going to upset me, I ain't going to watch it.
Yeah, I don't want to put myself through that. So I spent a while just trying not to even acknowledge it. And then here goes his brother. His brother makes a video trying to apologize. And then his brother submits another video and he out here freestyling and shit. But his brother is freestyling, dropping N-bombs like they're going out of style. Like, bruh.
All right, let's do that. Let's have the N-word conversation, because I've had this debate with some people whose opinion I respect, and we've been on opposite sides of it several times. Before we do that, I do want to mention the one time I did edit an episode of this podcast, and that was when we added some people to the list.
Oh yeah,
and I mistakenly added an underage individual to the list, and then I had to go in and take out all the comments because I didn't realize she was underage at the time I was saying the shit about her.
I thought it was one of those situations where somebody's 35 playing a 16-year-old.
But she got to be of age now.
Yeah, I think
I don't want to say too much, but you know.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah,
I believe she could be on the list now, but now I feel a certain way about putting her on the list.
Might as well leave it alone.
I might, but damn, she deserved to be on the list. All right, the N-word, man. So I don't know, like I say nigga a lot, and if you told me I couldn't or I shouldn't, I might feel a certain kind of way about it. Like it's my word. At this point, it's my word. I know what I mean when I say it. I'm careful about who I say, but as a black person, I'm careful about who I say it to. You can't just walk up to every black person and be like, "What's up, Nick?" You might get the shit beat out. You might get, you might get stomped. But like some people don't play those games. Some you can't say "What's good, dog?" or homie. You can't say that stuff to certain people.
Especially if you don't know that person or their frame of mind, and they might think you're trying to belittle them or whatever. But on one hand, it's like I want to be PC and say no one should be saying the N-word. But then it's like I say nigga all the time.
All the time.
But it also depends on how you say it. I'm pretty like 95% sure, like thinking about it right now, I never say nigga like in reference or calling somebody a nigga. Like I've never had a conversation with you and was like, what up, nigga? Like, or something like that, or calling you nigga or referring to you as nigga. But like when something dumb happens, like I'll see a joke and I'm like, nigga.
Yeah, it's the exclamation.
Yeah, that's the I sit on the cake. That's the exclamation point. But I use it all the time in that context. Somebody cut me off, nigga. You got an extra big fucking rib and the dinner was good, nigga. Like it's a form of like flattery, or just it's the exclamation point at the end of the sentence at this point. But I don't use it in reference to people. Now that I think is wrong.
I think you gotta know how to use it. Yeah. And it's one, I don't know. Like I guess I don't want to say it's like a right that we've earned or something. Like I don't even want to make it that serious.
People say we're supposed to be reclaiming it.
I just think I think there's always customs and cultural differences where, you know, if you're not a part of that culture, if you don't exist in that culture and have enough understanding of that culture to know how to, how to use their customs properly, then you stay away from them. There's certain things. I mean, I work with, Indian people all the time, and there's certain things that I know I need to not even try to interpret. Like, that's the way y'all talk to each other. I can't decide I can talk to you that way, or I can't decide that I can comment on that.
The culture is different.
The culture is different. I'm outside of that culture. I don't have the right, to dig in. And I really don't think, a lot of people get that reality is different for us. Like, I talked about this on a Road to Recovery episode, but now I get your opinion on it. So, and I was doing my community service out at Goodwill, and it was this dude at the Goodwill. I call him the meth addict philosopher, and he would just, the whole time he would be there, he'd just be extra hype and just want to talk, and he wanted to talk about controversial shit. He want to talk about Trump. He want to talk about racism all the time. And so one time, I guess to try to like get on my good side, he was telling me how he's not a racist and he hates racists. And he was like, he was at a party or something, and some dude kept saying the N-word, and he eventually like went off on him, and security had to hold him back and all this other stuff. And after thinking about it, I was like, that is the most grotesque example of white privilege that we have. Because he's white and another white person was saying the word and he decided to go off, to the point of violence, he views that story as he was a hero. And I should look at him like, oh man, you one of us because you was defending my folks. Whereas same situation, if I'm out and a white person is out using the N-word a lot and I resort to violence to fix the situation, I'm now a threat. I might not make it home that night, because I'm now the person who didn't have enough, intellectual reasoning ability to defeat the situation through anything other than physical violence. He gets to look like he was a hero just because,
which is wrong, and that's not what the case was at all. Because I don't view it as him being a hero. I don't look at it as him defending an injustice or defending someone's grotesque use of a word. I look at it as him defending his ability to be offended, if that makes any sense. Well, I can be offended because you're using a word wrong, or a word that you shouldn't be using, or a phrase. So therefore, I'm going to battle you, and I'm going to use this as my reasoning. Yeah. You don't get to do that. You don't get that pass because we don't get that pass.
I don't get that pass. I can't just decide to punch somebody in the face every time they say something I don't like. I gotta eat that shit more often than not. I gotta just take it because I'm in a situation where the stakes are too high. I can defend myself or I can keep my job. I can defend myself or I can make it home safe that night. I can defend myself or I can not get arrested. These are the situations that
crazy.
But I don't think they ever realize that realities are different.
The reality of on a daily basis, how much crow we have to eat, because everything we do more often than not in this world effectively becomes a life decision. Which is it's crazy. It shouldn't be like that.
Yeah. So if it comes down to something as simple as who can use a word, you just got to understand that you don't live in this reality. And maybe that is the reason why you can't use a certain word, or you shouldn't use a certain word, or you're going to face a certain backlash when you use a certain word, whereas I won't. But, you can fight in a club because somebody said something you didn't like. I can't do that. You can tell an officer to get the fuck out of my face. You can walk down the street with a rifle and I can't do that.
Can't do that.
So we all got shit we can't do.
The culture is different. The reality is different. And my thing is, why are they fighting so hard to use it
anyway? Why you want to say niggas so bad?
I don't understand.
Of all things, why you want to say niggas so bad?
And you know what that made me think of? So I was going to mention it when you said, for instance, like you work with Indian people and trying to understand parts of their culture. You realize that it's certain things that you just can't do or shouldn't just try to appropriate or be a part of. Which is the reality that we face every day, because this is yours. I'll leave it there.
That's yours.
In an effort not to F it up, screw it over, and make light of it, make fun of it, whatsoever. You get the point I'm trying to make. Why do white people think it's okay to just appropriate everything.
Because they can have everything. Yeah,
God damn.
Who was it? It was in one of those footnotes videos where it was saying like they come from a position of, of privilege, of I can do everything. I can do anything. Mm-hmm. They walk out the house with every opportunity or every possibility is open to me today. And we sometimes come out the house like, all right, these are the limitations on my day. I got to stay in this, I need to stay in this box or some shit might happen to me, and they come out the house where ain't no box. I can do everything. They don't have any understanding of living within boundaries, And I guess, in a certain way, we need to get out of our boundaries, and maybe they need to learn some. I don't know.
It's crazy how, and I'm not saying this is true of all white people, but I've seen how they walk through the world as if it completely revolves around them, and they are utterly unaffected. And it'll be something as little as crossing the street. A white person will cross the street, never look up to see if cars are coming, never look up to see if a kid is in the way or anything. They drive the same way because it's me, it's my world, it's my bubble. Everyone has to move and revolve around me and make way.
And I think the sad part about that is that I think now, where some of the shackles are off, we look at that as like being obnoxious or being, like you said, self-involved. Where I think, we kind of learn the opposite, not so much because we got better manners or we care about other people, but our interactions with other people, once again, could lead to our death. We bump into the wrong person on the street.
You don't know how that shit is going.
You don't know how that shit is going to go. And in the days of Jim Crow and stuff, you bump in.
It's a wrap.
You looked at a white woman the wrong way. You looked at a white man the wrong way. If you weren't aware of how your actions affected people around you at all times, you could end up in a situation where shit go very wrong for you.
Very fast.
So I don't want us to sit on some high horse like we learned to be aware of other people's feelings or how we affected other people because we got we are naturally better morally. Now I think we were taught some of these morals as a survival technique.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is sad.
It's sad.
You think about it.
And so now when I'm someplace, I am conscious of everybody around me, and I don't want to bump into this person. And let me say excuse me, and let me who's behind me. Am I blocking somebody? I'm always thinking about that stuff. But it's not because I'm this exceptionally wonderful human being that just cares so much about everybody around me. It's that I don't want to cause a problem that's going to create consequences I ain't ready for today.
And see, that's why I think more African Americans should go into law enforcement. I don't think, like Renee is always asking, like, why are you always looking around? I don't think people realize how over aware or hyper aware African Americans are of their surroundings and what the fuck is going on. Like, we can walk into a room and we're sitting down with that Vin Diesel shit where you be like, there's a lady over there, this dude is wearing this, blah, blah, blah. That shit is real. Man. Like, I know what the fuck is going on because you never know.
Shit goes left.
You got to know
what
angle it's coming from. Yeah, exactly. Damn, when you think about it, it's sad that I had to grow up like that.
You can't wait till they start shooting the run. You need to see the shooter before he pull a gun out.
That's the other shit that gets me. Why do white people wait for confirmation? Like, I don't wait for confirmation. If I see somebody tiptoeing back the other way, I'm tiptoeing. We out. Full sprint. People always want to confirm. Oh, what's going on over there? He has a gun. Oh, really? What kind? Like, the fuck? No, we out.
Did you hear my bathroom terrorist part 2? Right?
I think I did.
When I was in the where was I? I was at Pete Terry's. Yeah, and dude he came in. He never, and it's like, and I was saying it on the podcast. Like, it wasn't like I was purposely watching this guy. It's just like over time stuff started to add up. Stuff that I just normally am taking account of started to add up and then seem right. Like, he been in this restaurant too long, he ain't ordered yet. I ain't seen him go up and order yet. He's looking around at all the seats. Why is his hand tucked under a jacket? He just went to the bathroom and came out with different clothes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit just started. And it wasn't like I was profiling him. It's just you know, if I'm sitting somewhere, I'm taking account
If shit
of
don't
all
add
the
up,
people
like,
around me,
listen.
and shit didn't start out. And I sure did leave. I ain't tap nobody on the shoulder like, hey, yo, you might want to check my man over there. I was just,
No,
hey,
I'm out.
I'm out.
Because that's the other thing. If too many of you go to the door at the same time, I mean, your best bet of saving a life at that point would have been like sliding a note on your way out.
Yeah.
And like, listen, if they listen, good. If not, but at the same time, it's one of those things. Was anybody else being aware of their surroundings? No. Why? Because they in their bubble.
We can't live in a bubble. I used to live in the bubble, and I got fucked up because I lived there because I wasn't paying attention to some shit that was happening around me, and I didn't even listen when somebody. I did the other thing that, you know, we accuse white people doing all the time is like when somebody tell you the shit is happening, you be like, what shit? Like, I gotta go look at what is it over there? What they doing over there? I told you, my boy said, he said, we gonna run from the store and we gonna run onto the bus. And I was like, bet. And he ran and he ain't stopped running until he was on the bus. I ran, and when I got to the bus step, was like, I'm good. I can stop running. And that's when that's when it all went wrong. I learned from that day. So now you gotta see the danger before it comes.
Me and Renee, we've been in situations where you gotta just spot it, and I felt bad. We've walked out of places just like you walked out of pizzerias.
Yeah.
We've walked out of situations where you saw it coming. Come on, first of all, it's 67 degrees outside. If it's 67 degrees outside and this motherfucker got a long jacket on, being shifty, looking around and guarding the door, listen, I don't. You know what? I changed my mind. We gonna come back. Are you sure we can give you a discount? No,
Nope.
No discount is necessary. We'll be back.
I'm good.
Maybe.
Not worth it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and we just walked out. And
It happened to me and Tammy the other day. We was pulling in the Target, and I swear to God, I said he looked like he stepped right out of Columbine. Like, just had the long black, and it was like flowing, like he was in the Matrix or some
that's when
shit.
you go to another store.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? There's other Targets. We can go to another Target. We don't got to go to this Target.
Sometimes you just gotta. I feel like if the Lord is giving you these signs, pay attention to it.
Pay attention.
I'm gonna heed these signs. I'm gonna heed the warnings.
Exactly.
I'm going the other way.
I want to live. It's just too much going on these days, and it's a sad fact. It's a sad fact, but I'm still here. I got the sign. I got that from the. I don't know if you can see it, but I got that from the Goodwill too.
Mm-hmm.
That there's always something to be grateful for.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And let me speak on the Goodwill real quick, because there's a lot of shady shit going on in the Goodwill. So if you volunteer if you work at the Goodwill, you can't shop during your shift. Like, you gotta wait till your shift is over. You gotta take the shirt off, then you can come back and shop. So what that really leads to is that people who work at the Goodwill stash the good shit in certain places of the store, and either call somebody to come buy it, or wait till they get off and then walk back in and come buy it. And that's kind of what I did with that
Yeah.
R. Like, I had it stashed someplace, and I was getting ready to send you like a text, like, all right, so if you come in the store, you want to go to the aisle, you'll see a jewelry box that doesn't look like it belongs there. If you lift up the jewelry box, there's the R. But it's like, nah, I had to like stick it under some stuff and then call Tammy and then pretend like I ain't know Tammy while she was in the store. It was a real operation. You need to get
that's happening all day,
every day. So if you know somebody who's working at Goodwill or volunteering at Goodwill, you need to get your hookup going, because they get some real stuff.
Nah, they do. Every time I go, when that door be open and I'm looking in the back, and I'm like, oh, that shit don't never make it to the floor. Well, if it do, it's immediately you put it on the floor at the same time your boy is walking in to put it on hold and buy it. Yeah.
So you need to get yourself a Goodwill hookup, people. That's Flan's advice for the day.
There be some good stuff for the Goodwill. People be like feeling like they too good for the Goodwill. There be a lot of stuff new in there too.
Especially if you get the Goodwill in the right neighborhood.
Yeah, you get where you were at. It was the other one by us. It's in an affluent neighborhood, and people just trying to get their tax write-offs.
Exactly. This time of year, they done just dropped off a whole bunch of stuff to make sure they can get it in for the end of the year. And pause and get you a Goodwill hookup and get you some good stuff, man. Some good stuff. All right, but I think that's about gonna wrap it up. I don't know where we landed on the N-word thing. If you don't understand it, don't use it.
Basically, if you have to ask, don't use
If
it.
you have to ask, don't use it. If you're wondering what the reaction is gonna be, don't use it. Just if you ain't 100% sure, if you ain't ready,
don't use it
for things to go the wrong way.
One last rule.
And that goes for black people and white people.
If you do slip up and say it, and you feel like that ass whooping is gonna be coming, if you slip up and say it in general, immediately stop and reflect and just make sure it was a soft and not a strong ER. Because if you fucked up and said nigger and not nigga, I hope you can run like cross country out.
All right, so real quick, since you went there, we got to talk about it. Did you see the Jeopardy thing?
No, I didn't see it.
So the dude, whatever the answer was, Gangsta's Paradise by Coolio, and he said Gangster Paradise, and they gave it to him first. They gave it okay, right answer, moving on.
No, it's a different word.
And then they came back. Yeah, they came to like the judges came back like a couple minutes later. I'm like, nah, that was wrong. It's Gangsta's Paradise.
Yeah, a gangsta and a gangster are two different things.
And that shit just, I don't know, man. Like
would you have given it to him?
I'd have given it to him.
No, it's a different. It's totally different.
I think we get a little out of control.
Just like it's a difference between a nigga and a nigger. Which one are you gonna smack first? The dude that says nigga and the dude that says nigger. Exactly. It's a whole different situation. Like you fuck around with somebody, like you at work, and one of your coworkers is like, "Hey, nigga," you be pissed the fuck off, but you be like, "You know what? I'm keeping my job. I gotta go home to Tammy and Elise."
Yeah.
But if that same dude was like, "Nigger, come here," you might rethink some shit.
I don't know, man. I gotta go look up these definitions. I guess they say they marked it wrong because they're actually, like you said, they're two different words in the dictionary. So I gotta see what's the definition of a gangster versus a gangsta. And if it's some racist shit, I'm going off. But we're gonna do another episode and I'm coming back.
Oh yeah, I already know it's some gangsta. It probably got a picture of somebody with their pants sagging, drinking a 40, singing some rap.
Yeah, like a gangster is like the dude in the suit,
the actual
from the 30s.
Criminology, and doing the underhand mob world boss crap.
Gangsta is just some nigga out there with a gun.
It's just the social connotations behind it.
That was racist. I gotta try to do better with my own people. Fuck it though. This has been another episode of What Is TWS podcast. Happy to have my man Rich back. We back in the studio together. Shit.
Don't worry, we're gonna be making numbers this year, people.
Yeah, I'm trying to do some numbers this shit. Trying to get this thing really going. I think we got good content, and we're gonna step out into some other arenas. So keep watching us. I don't know, that was a long ass pause. But anyway, until the next time.
Peace.
Be the light.